Under the EBRD Trade Facilitation Programme, we support the development of trade and trade finance in EBRD's countries of operation in Eastern Europe and Central Europe, but also in the Mediterranean countries and the Southern and the Eastern Mediterranean countries. And some of these countries, they are quite small, they are also high risk. And it becomes increasingly difficult for international correspondent banks to maintain correspondent banking relationships with EBRD partner banks in these regions, and particularly in smaller countries and in high-risk countries, because a lot of regulations have been imposed on the banks. The banks have to increase their activities in customer due diligence, in know your customer diligence. They have to look at all the regulations concerning anti-terrorist financing, sanctions. So correspondent banking has become very expensive, and our partner banks in these countries find it increasingly difficult in maintaining their correspondent banking relationships with international correspondent banks. We have seen the need to help our partner banks in this difficult situation. And we have been thinking together with correspondent banks and respondent banks, what could the EBRD do as an international financial institution to support our partner banks in these difficult times. And we have created technical assistance programs, donor-funded programs, which support our partner banks in getting access to knowledge and know-how and to being kept up to date with all the regulations and requirements of correspondent banks. We have approached donors, we have raised funds from donors for the training and advisory services of our partner banks. In all our activities, we try to work together and to cooperate with associations, because associations of banks, associations of professionals, because associations, we have access to the market requirements, they know the requirements of their members, but they have access to the knowledge of their members. And they create training courses, and they help us to create also advisory services, and they help us to find experts who can train EBRD's partner banks in compliance. All our partner banks benefit from our partnership with International Compliance Association. They benefit because it helps them to maintain their correspondent banking relationships, and the more our partner banks train their staff, the more confident correspondent banks feel in establishing correspondent banking relationships, but also trade finance facilities for our partner banks. And the beneficiaries are not only the banks, it's also the employees of the banks. The employees of the compliance departments who get training, who get access to knowledge and know-how, and it helps them to make a career in compliance, and very often they are highly in demand also by other banks and increasingly also by international banks who like to employ people who have been trained by ICA. Under our Trade Facilitation Programme, we work with more than 100 partner banks in 30 countries, and we have offered our services to all our banks. But particularly smaller banks and banks in high-risk countries and less advanced countries, we are very keen in cooperating with the EBRD and the International Compliance Association. And we started our cooperation with ICA in 2018, and we started in buying 800 licenses for e-learning courses from ICA. And these licenses were quickly taken up by our partner banks. So we have recently decided to buy another 800 licenses, which we distribute to our partner banks. And we have got very good feedback from all of our partner banks and the employees about the quality of these courses. They are in high demand, and we are pretty sure that they will be soon very fully utilized.